Hospital after he was shot twice outside of a Lafayette bar. Why he was shot by the bouncer.
A little bit of clearing tonight, but it will be cloudy, drier, and will our Halloween be a trick or a treat? We'll take a look at that forecast straight ahead.
And the Lafayette Police Department hosted a 5K pursuit this morning. What Sergeant Ian O'Shields had to say about the event.
News 18 Weekend Report starts now. WLFI Lafayette. News from where you live.
Good evening, I'm Peter Hewlett. Thank you all so much for joining us. A bouncer at the Blind Pig in Lafayette shot a customer early this morning, according to the Lafayette Police Department. According to LPD's Lieutenant Randy Shear, it happened around 3 a.m. after 26-year-old Zachary Klingensmith was kicked out of the bar. Shear says Klingensmith pulled a gun after approaching the door. That's when a bouncer shot him twice in the hand and torso. Klingensmith was taken to a local hospital and is in stable condition. The investigation is ongoing and no arrests have been made. This afternoon, a transparency meeting was held at the Wabash Township Station 1 Fire Department to discuss the local budget. A call for a meeting started after the Wabash Township Advisory Board was able to access financial records they claimed Township trustee Jennifer Tysing refused to provide. After review with help from financial experts from the Department of Local Government, the board had questions for Tysing. Stern words were exchanged about the transparency and the basis on how forms were submitted by Tysing's office. Tysing claims she did not submit certain forms herself, nor did she approve of whoever did. However, the advisory board said only she and her team could submit these forms, and they were in fact filled out. Tysing did not recognize many of the figures in the document. The advisory board plans on contacting the Department of Local Government to finance an investigation into her statements and how the documents were submitted in the first place. And we're going to switch gears now to weather. Meteorologist Lisa Montgomery joins us now with a look at our forecast. Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, looking pretty good this evening. We are dry now. All that rain, that patchy light drizzle and rain has shifted off to the east out of the area. So we are dry. Even a few breaks in the clouds there you can see through Monticello down through Lafayette. So we do expect to be mostly cloudy overnight, and it looks like for our Sunday, our Halloween, it will be dry with even a little bit of sunshine. Temperatures overnight, we're going to stay in the 40s. Right now we are around 47 degrees in Lafayette, 46 in Monticello, 51 in Rensselaer, and 48 down in Crawfordsville. So we're going to stay above average overnight, but that will begin to change as we get into tomorrow night and the rest of the upcoming week. We're talking about a big time drop in our temperatures. It will be the coolest of the season so far. So for our Halloween, will it be a trick or a treat? We're going to check that out in the full forecast. Major cool down for next week. We're talking about widespread frost, and you'll need those winter coats. All of that's coming up in your full forecast in just a bit. Pete?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. We're wrapping up our breast cancer awareness series with a look at remission. News 18's Samantha Tiki spoke with a survivor who shared her journey with breast cancer.
I had stage 3 breast cancer. It was triple negative, which is a really more rare and fast growing.
Rhonda Jones was diagnosed with breast cancer in February of 2017.
I got to meet with my nurse navigator and set out the plan of how we were going to attack this.
News 18 followed her journey as she went through treatment at IU Health Arnett.
So they decided the best thing for me was to start chemo to shrink it.
Jones had what she calls super chemo every 2 weeks for 8 weeks. She was then switched to a less intense form of chemotherapy weekly for 12 weeks. The tumor shrunk, but it was confirmed there were 2.
The sac that they were living in was too big still, so instead of a lumpectomy, I was going to have to do a mastectomy.
Jones says it was harder than she expected.
Your clothes fit different. I mean, it's a whole identity thing.
At first, she wore a prosthetic.
And there'd be days I'd do stuff all day long, working, on my computer and everything else. And I'd go into the bathroom and I'd be like, why didn't anybody tell me I was so crooked?
Then she decided it was time for reconstructive surgery.
I just kind of looked at my husband one day and I'm like, this isn't working for me. And we agreed that I needed to do what was best for my health, my mental health.
Jones says the worst part of her breast cancer journey was the 35 days of radiation.
15 minutes a day doesn't seem like it'd wipe you out, but it does. And I was getting all my hair back, and everybody's like, oh, your color's coming back. You know, you look so great. Well, yeah, but I was feeling worse.
After treatment was over, she says she got some good news.
I was told I was cancer-free, but with triple negative, if it's going to reoccur, it reoccurs quickly. So there's a kind of a bell curve.
Jones says if you can make it 3 years without a recurrence, then chances for it to come back drop drastically. She's gone 4 years without a recurrence.
I'm starting to relax a little, but it doesn't matter. I still go get mammograms, and I still hold my breath, and I still think, okay, it didn't come back.
She has a message for other women battling breast cancer.
You can do this. You've got this.
Samantha Tiki, News 18.
Jones is the Senior Public Relations Coordinator at IU Health Arnett. Part of her job is promoting breast cancer awareness and mammograms during the month of October. She says her experience has made her even more of an advocate.